The plain of Cannae was not just a battlefield. It was an altar. Beneath a white-hot sun, 80,000 sons of Rome marched, a river of iron, silver, and arrogance. The earth itself trembled under the weight of the Republic's pride. They believed in the sheer force of mass, a wall of bronze that would crush the Carthaginian pest forever. But they did not see the ghost in the dust. They did not see the mind that had already written their end. Hannibal watched from the limestone ridges. He offered them a gift, a thin, fragile line of Gauls and Iberians, a crescent that looked ready to snap. The Romans charged, their shouts swallowing the wind, their eyes fixed on the center. They pushed, they fought, and they laughed, thinking they were winning. But they were only walking deeper into the jaws of a predator. Every step they took into his line was a step toward their own graves. Then the pivot. The African wings turned inward like a vice. The Punic cavalry slammed into the rear, sealing the circle of iron. In an instant, 80,000 men were compressed into a cauldron of death. There was no room to swing a sword, no room to breathe, only the sound of bone crushing against bronze. The Romans were no longer an army. They were a mass of panic, ground down by a machine of war, so perfect it defied the gods. By sunset, the shouting had stopped. Only the Volturnus wind remained, blowing the dust over 50,000 fallen Romans. Look at the field. Look at the golden rings. Thousands of them poured onto the floor like a river of lost nobility. This was the price of challenging the lion. Rome was a city of widows that night, its temples filled with ash and terror. Hannibal stood on the roof of the world, holding the heart of an empire in his hand. But a master of victory is not always a master of peace. On the road to Rome, Hannibal hesitated. He chose to wait. He chose the luxury of Capua over the walls of the capital. It was the moment the world changed. The war would drag on for years, but the echo of Cannae would never fade. The lion had won the battle, but he had spared the beast. And in the shadows of the 7 hills, Rome began to breathe again.